likey, me likey. What's going on and welcome back. If you caught my last video on Project Stepchild, we were still having issues with the car, but we may have resolutions to all of them. So first of all, I want to talk about the Bowler all-in-one harness. I was not able to connect to the harness. You're supposed to be able to connect and change settings. The only time I'm able to connect is when I disconnect the speed sensor and connect that way. It does allow me to connect. That is how you're supposed to initially connect to it, and you're supposed to be able to connect to it regardless if the speed sensor is plugged in or not after that, and it's not letting me do it. So we've got another harness on the way. Unfortunately, I had to pay for it in advance. I have to pay for that one. When I get it installed and I send the other one back, then I get a credit back. It is getting taken care of. I don't like to do it that way because that's my money tied up for a product that didn't work to begin with. But anyway, is what it is. It's coming. We'll get that fixed and hopefully have no more issues with that. The next thing I want to talk about is the RPM hang, or the shift assist, however you want to call it. That, from my understanding, is in the tune. It's part of the factory tune as well. Although with the MT82 I did not notice it. So I don't know why it's so noticeable now. I mean, you can be in gear and just pushing the clutch. I mean, it'll rev to 3,000-4,000 RPM at times. So it's very strange, very weird, and very cumbersome. It's not fun at all. It makes the car difficult to drive. So I really needed that taken out. I contacted Palm Beach Dyno. We're still on the initial base tune, and I can't get good data logs. They need 5-minute drive and a second or third gear pull, but I can't get the drive log because it's such a pain to drive this car with that revving and all that stuff. So I requested that be taken out in a new tune. I did get the new tune. I'm gonna install that today and see how that does. Hopefully that is gone and I can get some fun drive time and some logs in for Palm Beach Dyno. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the clutch, the Ram Pro Street clutch. As you saw, I was having issues with the clutch pedal catching really low. So long story short, we tore the car down again, pulled the clutch out. Ram thoroughly went through the clutch, checked the clutch, and made sure that everything was good. There were no issues with the clutch mechanically or anything like that. And I did ask Ram to put in a little more preload into the clutch, build it into the clutch itself. So Ram accommodated me on that. Ram has been awesome. They went through the clutch, I mean, fine tooth comb, no problem. We're gonna check it out, all that good stuff. Ram has been awesome with dealing with the clutch issue. They've been right there with me and answering any questions. I can get a hold of them when I need to. It's been awesome. But anyway, the clutch has more preload in it. This time around, the slave cylinder was bench bled. Now bench bled is when you take it and you actually fill it with fluid before you actually install it. I'm not sure how much that is contributing to the feel of the clutch and the catch point, if at all, because we didn't bench bleed it last time. We followed the Ford procedure, which does not call for bench bleeding. But I wanted to mention that we did do that this time around. So, you know, I would say if it makes you feel better, if you're doing a clutch job like this, go ahead and bench bleed it. It's not gonna hurt. It could quite possibly help out the installation, and it will keep you from pumping the pedal like a million times. But anyway, that was done. The clutch is back in, everything is back together. We're about to install the new tune and hopefully get some drive today, and hopefully with none of that RPM hang and that kind of crap. But I want to get a lot of drive time these next couple days, and I'm just gonna drive the car and kind of just feel the car and see how it does, see how everything comes in, and as parts are breaking in and working together better, you know, I want to see how everything acts then. I'm not going to make any judgments. I'm not going to jump to any conclusions right now until I get some miles on this car. I really can't until things start breaking in and start loosening up and working together and all that good stuff. So I don't want to make any judgments at this point. I will do like a kind of a review in a later video about how things are going and stuff like that, but I do want to get the miles logged. We need miles on this car before we can even think about anything. Now, one other thing that I did want to talk about is the weight of Project Stepchild. I did actually take the car and have it reweighed. I wanted to see, you know, where we were at with that, because, you know, we've done a lot of stuff to the car, and I'm afraid that Stepchild has gained some weight. But I do want to go over the results of that. I was going to make another video, but there's really no point in trying to stress that out into one video. We can just talk about the weight real quick. So I'm going to do a comparison of what it was before and then what it is now. Now keep in mind the things that we have done. We have done the Magnum XL transmission swap. We have installed the Ram Pro Street clutch. We have installed the DSS drive shaft, DSS half shafts. We've installed the aluminum vertical links. Let's see what else. We've installed the Corbeau seats. We also changed out the stock manifolds for the pipes long tube headers. We've installed the pipes X-bomb cat back. I think that's about it as far as changes that would really affect the weight. So I was really curious as to what the change would be. Now I did weigh the car at the first time I weighed it was at a quarter tank of gas. This time is at a quarter tank of gas, but actually the needle was kind of just above it, so we may have had just a tad more fuel in the car, but we were right at quarter tank like we were before. So everything was the same as far as the car except for the parts that we had changed. Okay, so on the left here is the initial weight. We first weighed the car, and as you can see, it was 3760. And the other day, now we're at 3720. So we have lost 40 pounds in Project Stepchild, which I was very surprised. I thought the car was actually going to gain a little weight because some of the parts are heavier, but then again, some of the parts are lighter. So I think we did pretty good. I think 40 pounds is pretty decent for the amount of changes that we did and the type of changes. All right, so there you have it. 40 pounds less. That's awesome. Like I've said previously, you know, I know some parts weigh less than others, but some parts are definitely heavier. So I think we came out good. 40 pounds, that's a good bit. Now we still have to do the brakes, the front brakes. We're switching to the bare drag brakes. We still have to do those. Wheels and tires. We have got at least another 100 pounds that I'm thinking that we can take off the car. At least another 100 pounds, and we're gonna need that 100 pounds because when we add the blower, it's gonna add at least that back onto it. I'm not looking forward to that, but is what it is. But hopefully we will not exceed, my goal is to not exceed like 3750. I don't want to exceed that. If we can stay under that amount, I think we'll be good to go. But anyway, let's get this new tune installed and let's start driving the car. Let's take it around for a little bit and see how she does. All right, once again, the tune is loaded. Got the newest revision installed. Hopefully it'll get rid of that rev hanging crap. And of course, now it's time for a cold start. Cold. It's cold out here. Very cold start. Alright, so the rev hang or shift assist, whatever you want to call it, it appears to be gone now. Thank goodness, because that, oh my goodness, that was so annoying, ridiculous. So now I'm in control of the RPM. I don't have to try to shift and match it. It was weird. I didn't like it, but that's gone now. So the clutch is catching differently. The shift assist is gone. As far as the all-in-one harness, I don't know what kind of effect that has on it at the moment. With the settings are correct in it. I did verify the settings, so I don't know if it's just I can't connect to it. So I'm thinking it's whatever it does. You know, it doesn't have anything to do with the speedometer, because the speedometer works off of wheel speed. So I don't know. The only other thing that I know that didn't work before was the cruise control. So I need to check the cruise control and see if that's working. So we'll check that in just a second, coming up to the stop sign. So we'll check the cruise control and see if that works. And as long as that works, then, you know, it looks like we should be good to go with everything. So we're about to be in Mexico, and I'm going to make the first pull in the car. I know I don't have all the braking miles done, but I need to do one pull for Palm Beach Dyno, and then, you know, then I could put some more miles on the car and hopefully have the miles on it before the next log request, or this could be the last log, who knows. But I do want to get that pull in. I've already done my 5-minute drive, so I just need to do that pull, send it off to them, and see what they say about it. We'll see how this goes. The car feels really good with this tune. I mean, I haven't gotten on it hard, but it feels pretty good, especially with this transmission, because the transmission is geared differently. It's almost kind of like reducing the rear end gears to, say, from a 373 that's in it, say, down to a, you know, 355 or, you know, 327 gear. You know, you kind of lose that extra pickup, but I mean, the car feels good. So we're about to see what happens. There, that was kind of, then third gear. Yikes! That was a good pull, though. Actually, felt pretty good. So made it back from Mexico, and now we're just gonna put some miles on the car. We'll get the data log off of the Engage and get that sent over to Palm Beach Dyno. See what they say. And go from there. But in the meantime, we are going to just drive the car. Got to get these miles on it. The transmission is pretty notchy, and I imagine that's because it is still new. It doesn't have the break-in mileage. But I'm gonna check into you know, like what fluid to switch over to after the break-in, because I do want to drain it and put fresh fluid in it. I don't know if I need to go to synthetic or, you know, what's best for it. So I'll probably contact Tree Meg, see what they say, and you know, go with their recommendations. So I want to put something in there that's going to help with the shifts. I mean, we got to make some good, hard, crisp shifts in this thing, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, we're gonna drive, and hopefully in the next video maybe we can do, I don't know, maybe we can test out the tune or test out the gearing or something. Who knows? Do something fun. But anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, because we are getting there with Stepchild. We are getting there, getting some braking miles, and we're going to get some parts put on, even more parts, and then the supercharger. So stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next one. Ooh. Me likey. Oh yeah. That's gonna do real nice.